good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to Karma Broadcast on the sofa with Esther. You'll have to excuse me if my words are a little slurred. I've just had a pina colada. But with me tonight, outside Harbour Nights in Barbados, I have the energetic Ziggy Walcott. And I wanted to interview this young man because I saw him last week at Holders, and I remembered his energy from last year when I was here, and he was at Elara Court. And I remember thinking, OMG, oh my God, I just love this man's energy and what he's about. So Ziggy, firstly, I always say, in a nutshell or a coconut shell, who is Ziggy Walcott? Because you're not even a coconut shell, man. You're just like universal.
Ziggy Walcott. Just a very humble young person. I've been around for quite a bit. And when I'm on stage, I tend to just explode with energy. Very humble. I like to have fun, but I like to express myself more when I'm on stage playing music.
And so the music that you play, what would you call that? I could call it steel pan. I mean, last year you did a jazz fusion steel pan piece, and I was just totally blown away because I'd never heard jazz like that before. And out of all the artists, they were really great, but for you, it was just this zing and this zang of energy. So, firstly, how would you coin your music, Ziggy?
I wouldn't necessarily say it is specifically jazz. I just think I try to aim for a more world beat pop arena type style, which is more appealing to the younger ear, and with the instrument that it is, people seem to have this kind of doubt that Pan can do certain music.
That's right. Yes.
So what I try to do is change that doubt. So when I put together a show, I always think of things that people will be familiar with, they can relate to, and then I just try to do more popular stuff, more current stuff. So it's fun, and I think what happens with the audience is that they're amazed to hear Pan actually doing a pop tune. So that is my aim, really.
You're right, actually, because you do cover an eclectic, that's a nice word, an eclectic mix of music, because you did some versions of Earth, Wind and Fire last Saturday, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm a slightly older audience, but that still really appealed to me.
Right.
So Ziggy, what fuels you? What's fueled you into this musical arena?
I think it's the audience, and trying to necessarily make a statement. I think that Pan is not necessarily, people think of Pan as just island music, and so I'm trying to create a totally different niche market, so to speak. And what drives me is when you play with musicians who have the same idea and the same energy, that helps to drive and get across the point. When we put together a set, I'm always thinking about the audience who I'm playing for. So like for instance, Holders, I knew that it would have been middle age and middle to younger age. So you try to balance the set a little bit to accommodate everybody. So that is why when we put this together set, we change things, we tweak it a little bit just to accommodate everyone. Okay,
brilliant. And so going back a bit, what got you into playing steel pan, and also in the way that you do it, rather than, I get a sense you thought, okay, I don't want to be like that, I don't want to be static. So what empowered you to really be creative with what you do?
I started playing from school. I always loved music from the time I was a little child. I always loved music. But I think from hearing steel bands in Trinidad and in Barbados, I always had that extra push. And I always wanted to be creative. I find that a lot of the steel bands in Trinidad are extremely creative to a certain extent. So I always wanted to be creative and let Pan be, like for instance, how a saxophone is viewed within a band, leading a band. I wanted Pan to be that same concept, and to really enable the music to push the music and people enjoy it. I think what we're doing though, it's grabbing a lot of younger folk to love Pan. So that's the aim, really.
Brilliant. And I mean, is that also part of your character, stepping outside the box, is that part of your character, stepping outside the box, doing things differently, seeing how far you can push against the boundaries, Ziggy?
Yeah. I just love the creativity part of music. I like to be the musician that is not predictable.
Yes, brilliant.
You know, I like to be that person that, I never heard that song like that before.
Yeah.
So that is what I always coin my music to do.
And you know, watching you on stage perform, Ziggy, there's a space where you just, it's almost like when the music, it almost takes off and you feel like you're levitating, you pull back. And obviously you've got a way of just pulling back. And as you pull back, is that because the music is just vibing so much you don't know what to do with yourself?
I don't even know. I don't even know. There's so many things happen on stage that I know once the band and the vibe is right, the audience is right. I mean, so many things happen I don't even know what I go through.
Oh, brilliant. But you said something interesting there, and that once the audience is right. But I believe that as an artist, you're able to feed into your audience to bring them out of their sort of very sort of stoic space. Because I must say, bear with me guys, but I must say with the Bajans, when we go out and their music is rocking, everybody's very polite.
They just analyze music differently.
Very, very polite. And they do a little bit of tapping, very polite. But you know, but I feel for you are sort of reaching into their lives, because even if they don't move, you can see that they're actually physically taken and enthralled by your. And I think sometimes it's just because your energy is so vibrant, they are actually sort of silenced by that. You know, and that's a fantastic thing. And so, Ziggy, in terms of your music, how do you choose the pieces that you perform?
I normally listen to music, try to get a feel for what people like based on the type of audience I'll be playing for. For instance, like Holders, I knew the type of audience that would be there, so I tried to incorporate a lot of the old school stuff with all the new school stuff.
Oh, you know, old school.
And the old school stuff is always rock, man. It's always true essence of music. And what we found was amazing about Holders was that the new school stuff rocked more. Like, it actually got people to get up and, like, you know, we actually play Rihanna, We Found Love.
Oh yeah.
And people that were sitting all night got up. And I really wasn't going to play. I was a little worried about it. So sometimes I just play with the set a little bit. I may have songs on the set which we rehearse, but then we wouldn't necessarily play on the night because I tend to read the audience a lot when I'm performing. Brilliant. We always have a set that we prepare for the particular show, but on the night we may have one song that we may say we're not going to play that now on the fly, or we may just add a song that we didn't even rehearse.
Spontaneous.
That's a good thing with being a musician with a good backing band that you're accustomed to. You may just say, hey, we play X song and we play X song and change the set a little bit because at the time that is the song to play.
Brilliant.
So we kind of do things like that.
Great. And sort of in winding down, Ziggy, you know, you before off air, so to speak, I asked you about what does it feel like when you're on stage, and you said you were just trying to come down. So can you explain firstly what it's like when you first step up on stage? And then when you just engross yourself, what does it feel like? I want to know what it feels like, Ziggy.
I tend to get very, very nervous before I go on stage. People ask me why, but I find when I get myself nervous, you play better. You're not thinking that you're above everyone else, and you know. So I tend to work myself up a little bit and get some butterflies, and you know. But then when you get on stage and you have a good sound and you know a good vibe, everything changes. And as the night progresses, as the music progresses, you get a good vibe. Like for instance, our show in Harbour Lakes is only about all of 12 minutes, and within 12 minutes you get a really good vibe, as you can see with the audience tonight. So different shows, different strokes, different folks. Different horses, different courses, that type of thing.
That's right. And sort of another question, I know I said I was winding down, but bear with me. You know, how did you get into music? Let's just take you back a bit. You know, was it somebody in your family that influenced you? How did you get into what you're doing now?
Amazing. Well, growing up, my grandmother used to sing a lot. My grandfather used to play a little keyboard and sing a bit as well. Then one of my uncles played the clarinet, and the other one played guitar. So there's always this music in the house. Then like in church, hearing music all the time. So I always had music around me for some reason. I always listened to music before even listening to it. Like, it was so much around that I didn't even know that I was learning it. So then when I got into playing an instrument, it was easy for me to actually play a melody, or when we asked, can you play this song? I was, oh yeah, I know that song. I mean, I don't know it by name. Once I play the melody, well, that's the song. So because music was always constantly around. Growing up listening to the Sparrows and the Arrows and that type of music too, it helped a lot with my musicality.
That musicality.
The Earth and the Fire stuff, and just growing up in that environment, like I said before, you're listening to music, but it's just not consciously listening. It was just there. And a little bit of Sesame Street.
A little bit of what?
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street.
But yeah, it's always had that music.
Sorry, Sesame Street?
Yeah, Sesame Street back in the day was a lot more musical than it is now.
Okay, yeah, Sesame Street. Big Bird.
Yeah. It may sound funny, but it was really, really musical back in the day. Yeah. I think I can say it for myself, but I think a lot of musicians who came up in that era, you would have seen, I remember seeing things like Sesame Street with maybe Chick Corea or those type of musicians. Yeah. Stevie Wonder was on Sesame Street.
Yes.
All those musicians who, at that point, as a youngster, seeing that, we didn't know what it would have done for us, but it always had those type of musicians in the show. So I mean, it was very musical. So I think things like that assisted with me and other people who are musical. We didn't even know we would be here today.
Brilliant.
A lot of us would have gone to college and done other types of degrees or whatever. Like my drummer, for instance, he's a certified accountant, and he's given up accounting.
Wow.
And he's a drummer.
Wow.
The bass guitarist is a certified computer technician or whatever.
Just said that last week. The bass drummer is a certified.
The bass guitarist he's into IT, and he's full-time music. So there are people who would have had different career paths and just decided to switch to music.
Okay, and then this is like the penultimate question then. Because you've just said something very important there, lots of the musicians were going down a certain path, but they chose music. Now I feel that because music is a passion, music is about creativity, music is about expression, and to choose that over maybe having the certificates and the qualifications that define you, a lot of people won't understand that. But so for you, making that choice, that's one. And secondly, for young people, for anyone who wants to follow their passion and purpose, what would you say to them?
Well, I would always say follow your passion. For me, for instance, I did my certificate. I did a associate degree. I've done a degree in music. I'm doing a master's now. And, you always should have maybe something to fall on, but then there's always come that point in time where music is so much into you that whatever you do should be around music and not music around that. Music should be your middle, your center, and everything else should come around that. So if you rather be girlfriend, children, whatever you decide to do in life, it should always come around music. And I always encourage people to go for it. If you love it, if you have the passion, I'm one of those people that say if I don't enjoy playing music anymore, it makes no sense playing. It means that the people listening to me won't be enjoying it. So it makes no sense playing. Once you can enjoy it, once you still have that passion and you enjoy it, then you should still play. My support thing really is my sons, my girlfriend, my mom. Very, very, very big supporter. For instance, like Corner season, we had a big production. When you said, come and take the boys so you can sleep with the rest. So once you have that support system, and then you get to go into your own zone and get a little inspiration, spend some time listening to some music, that's relaxing. That that inspires me a lot. Just being quiet sometimes, being alone.
Yes, I understand that. 'Cause I can be a lone wolf. I like my space, and it's very easy for me to go off and disappear quite a lot. So I totally get that. And so in winding down, Ziggy, where's his name? Is that your real name? Because you're David, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where does Ziggy come from? I like the Ziggy.
I got that name, I think my back in the day, my brother's father's name was Ziggs. That was his nickname. So people used to call me Young Ziggs, and then they started calling me Ziggy. I spelled it Z-I-G-G-Y, and then the last 2 years we said it Z-I-G capital E. More a branding thing so that you could differentiate between Ziggy Walcott, Ziggy Marley, or both of them music.
What's your last name? You got Ziggy Walcott? Oh, right, okay.
So it's more like branding.
Yeah.
There's a branding. So still working on the branding.
That's good.
People pronounce it as Ziggy, and but I changed the name or the pronunciation of the name because the home pages. I got a little more serious this year and do some more branding. We went to Brazil, we took some shirts and stuff like that.
Brilliant. And so the last question is for anyone who wants to follow their passion, their purpose, for anyone who wants to step outside their comfort zone, for anyone who just wants to go, I'm going to do things different, I'm going to do life different. What piece of information can you give them, Zig? You said it right? Zig. No?
Well, I would say just go for it, man. Once you love it, go for it. You will love it. You will love it. Talk to God a lot. Spend some time with yourself. Spend some time practicing and really finding your song. I think as a musician, that's one of the most important. It's alright to learn all the fancy tricks and all the musical things, but once you find your song, that's the most important. Find your song.
Brilliant. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Esther Austin in Barbados. This is my last night in Barbados. I wanted to catch this amazing young man because, and you got to check him out on YouTube. I mean, you share where people can sound you out.
YouTube, Facebook, just find David Ziggy Walcott.
David Ziggy Walcott.
Easy to find.
Brilliant.
Instagram, always there.
Okay, brilliant. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, this is David Ziggy Walcott. And I just call him a fireball. And whatever is your passion and your purpose, look to this young man for inspiration and other people around you who are living their purpose. This is Esther Austin for Karma Broadcast on the Sofa with Esther, or inside the bush.